My grandparents owned the property. My aunt was an unmarried woman, and she lived with them on first floor. My uncle and his family lived on second floor with 3 children, and there was mom, dad, my brother, and I on the third floor.
3 boys in one room, 2 girls and my mother and father in the third. A living room, a dining room.
We lived on the first floor. My grandmother lived on the third floor. My family lived on the second. There's 6 of us there. My mom and my 4 younger brother and myself. 3 bedrooms, 1 kitchen, and a very small bathroom.
My mom's brother lived on the second floor with his family, and her mom lived on the third floor.
12 kids in one house. Couldn't get anything better. Loved it.
When you walked through the neighborhood, the houses were close enough to the street, the windows were open, you could smell the meats that had been cooking and the sauce or somebody was preserving. Everybody was always preserving something or other. The neighborhood was all Italian American.
There's 2 families here, my family and the other families right here next to us. And down the street, there's also more Cambodian living in. So this is where all the Cambodians come and gather.
There were Italians, Portuguese, black families, Irish. It was a melting pot completely.
My mom and dad bought the house. It was the first house that they ever owned. And they were able to do that on salaries of factory workers. So when I came over, my first day walking into the school, I had high hope, succeed like my mom told me. So walking in, I had students spit on my head.
When you're a little guy, when you're 10, 11, 12 years old, you don't really understand what the heck the story is. But when you look back on it, you see that that booze affected the lives in a negative way of a lot of people in the neighborhood.
I think they wanted me to marry an Irish Catholic, which I didn't. Anything but.
We used to go to this little corner store. Lydia, who ran the store, had a book. Every family had a page in the book, and she would write down who was buying something on the date and how much they owed. That book was blue, but she had a black book. And I often wondered, who went into the black book? Years later, I realized she was booking numbers.
I think this house is more like a home to us. We're more secure, we're much more freer. We're not afraid so much. That's the beginning for us. This is where we start our life. So.
Hi, I'm Marc Levitt, director and producer of the new 60-minute documentary film, Triple Decker, A New England Love Story. I'm excited to be making a new film about New England's iconic tenements and their inhabitants, who were, and still are, many of them, on the first step towards their American dream. The history of these 3-deckers are truly amazing, from being symbols of early 20th century anti-immigrant sentiment to locations of family and ethnic support, gender solidarity, and even labor and political activism. We've identified many people we want to interview. We want to begin filming historians, contractors, and of course, generations of inhabitants, as well as to collect archival footage and begin work on an animation sequence. So, if you or your family members or friends ever lived in a triple-decker, had anything to do with a triple-decker, have an affinity for triple-deckers, or simply like the sound of New England place names like Boston or Providence or Fall River or New Bedford, Worcester, Fitchburg, Woonsocket, Pawcatuck or Pawtucket, then this is your film. Now is the time. Triple-deckers are too often perched on the precipice between gentrification and disrepair. So we've got to show the world right now that lives of creativity and determination happened as much on the floors of triple-deckers as in any Queen Anne's or Victorians. So please, help us tell this great American story and to begin our film's production phase. It's a love story, so please show the love. Thanks.